What are you hoping to get? The ghost of the Sailor Man?
He's real.
Oh yeah. What? Oh yeah.
The movie begins with Adrian hiding inside an abandoned canning factory at the docks. As she moves through the building, she suddenly notices the Sailor Man watching her from the shadows. After some time, two drug dealers, Miguel and his accomplice, find her. They angrily demand payment for the drugs she stole from them and begin harassing her. Suddenly, an empty spinach can rolls out from the darkness. Miguel steps forward to check it, but a mysterious figure suddenly attacks him and throws his mutilated body back toward them. Moments later, the Sailor Man slowly steps out of the shadows. The accomplice grabs Adrian and threatens to kill her, but the Sailor Man quickly breaks his wrist and crushes his head with his bare hands. The scene then shifts to a school where Dexter and his new friend Olivia are discussing their plans to make a documentary about the Sailor Man. They try to convince Lisa to join them, but she hesitates at first. Eventually, Dexter lies to her and says that her crush Seth will also be joining them. Later, Lisa meets Seth, and the two seem excited about the chance to spend time together. Lisa finally agrees to join the trip and asks Seth to pick her up. Meanwhile, a realtor named Margaret arrives at the abandoned docks. She meets Mr. Allister, the mysterious owner of the old factory located there. She talks about her client's concerns regarding contamination reports, since they plan to tear down the factory and start a new project on the land. Allister assures her that there is no contamination in the nearby water and dismisses the reports as false. Margaret also brings up the rumors about the Sailor Man, but Allister does not take her concerns seriously. Suddenly, they smell pipe smoke. Allister decides to go and check where it's coming from. Margaret becomes nervous and starts looking around. As she walks through the area, the Sailor Man silently watches her from the shadows while smoking his pipe. Margaret then hears footsteps approaching and quickly hides. As the person gets closer, she becomes terrified, but Allister soon calms her down. He introduces the man as Angus, who takes care of his properties. Still shaken, Margaret insists that they continue the rest of their discussion outside. As they leave, Margaret accidentally drops her files on the floor without noticing. After they are gone, Angus senses that something is not right. He hears a strange noise nearby. He picks up a wrench and carefully follows the sound. When he opens a nearby door, he is horrified to find the dead bodies of Miguel and his accomplice inside. Shocked, he slowly walks back, but suddenly comes face to face with the Sailor Man. Angus angrily challenges him and attacks with a wrench. The Sailor Man quickly grabs his hand and stops the attack. He lands a powerful punch that weakens Angus, and the second punch knocks him to the ground. As Angus curses at him, the Sailor Man crushes his head under his foot. Meanwhile, Dexter and Olivia arrive to meet their friend Kate, who works at a bar. Kate is very friendly and playfully grabs Dexter's cheeks when she sees him. Olivia notices bruises on Kate's arm, which suddenly makes the mood serious. Realizing this, Kate quickly changes the topic and asks Dexter why he is in such a hurry to make his documentary. Dexter reveals that the owner has already signed a deal and the factory will soon be torn down. He explains that he wants his viewers to experience real footage from the Sailor Man's hideout for his documentary. However, Kate dismisses the story and calls the Sailor Man nothing more than a ghost. At that moment, an old man named Bernie interrupts their conversation. He insists that the Sailor Man is real and warns them that he does not like visitors. Bernie also says that he has been waiting there for a very long time for his lost love. Kate tells Dexter and Olivia to ignore him. Just then, Kate's boyfriend suddenly arrives at the bar. Kate hesitates when she meets Joey. Meanwhile, his friends Jesse and Terry approach Olivia and try to flirt with her, but she quickly brushes them off. Joey then asks Kate what she's doing there, and she explains that she's helping Dexter with his documentary plans. Joey clearly does not like this. Just then, Dexter arrives and makes a small joke about Joey, which only makes him more angry. Joey pulls Dexter aside and warns him to stay away from Kate. When Kate interrupts them, Joey grabs her hand harshly and says that he is just protecting what belongs to him. Despite this, Kate still insists on joining Dexter. After some time, they arrive outside the abandoned canning factory. As Olivia steps out of the car, she suddenly spots the Sailor Man standing in a window. The two stare at each other for a moment. When Dexter comes over, Olivia becomes frightened. Dexter looks toward the window, but there is no one there. Dexter tries to enter the building, but finds the door locked. Everyone begins to worry about what to do next. Olivia then comes up with an idea and asks for a nail file. Kate hands it to her, and Olivia manages to unlock the factory door with it. As they step inside, Kate receives a call from Joey, but chooses to ignore it. Joey becomes furious and tells his friend about it. Jesse manipulates him by saying that Kate is probably having fun with Dexter. He claims that they chose an abandoned place on purpose and used the documentary as an excuse to fool him. Hearing this, Joey becomes even more angry. He throws his car keys to Terry and tells him to drive them there. Meanwhile, inside the factory, Olivia explains that the place was once a working factory for more than 70 years and employed most of the local people. However, for unknown reasons, it suddenly shut down about 20 years ago. Meanwhile, Dexter turns on the LCD screens so they can capture the footage from the cameras. Someone asks how they are supposed to check such a huge place. Dexter suggests that they split up and look around. At first, Lisa hesitates, but when she realizes this gives her a chance to spend some time alone with Seth, she quickly agrees and leaves with him. Dexter then says that someone needs to stay near the LCD screens while he looks for good spots to place the cameras. Kate volunteers and lies that she is tired from her work shift. She says she will stay back so the others can have some time to themselves. Seth and Lisa wander through the factory until they find a foul-smelling spinach can. Disgusted by the smell, they throw it away. As they walk ahead, the can suddenly rolls back toward them. Both of them get scared and decide to run away. A moment later, a group of pigeons flies out from the corner, which makes them realize it's not the Sailor Man. Relieved, the couple begins flirting and enjoying their time together. As they walk away, the Sailor Man is quietly seen watching them from the shadows. Meanwhile, Dexter finds suitable places for the cameras and begins fixing them on the walls. Moments later, Lisa is casually scrolling through Instagram when the Sailor Man suddenly appears on the screen and walks past one of the cameras. At the same time, Margaret arrives at the factory to pick up the file she dropped earlier. She finds a file, but soon senses that something is wrong. As she walks deeper inside while calling out for Angus, she suddenly discovers his dead body. Terrified, Margaret turns around and sees the Sailor Man standing behind her. She quickly tries to hide, but she cannot escape him. Desperate to survive, she finds a door and forcefully pushes it open. She manages to slip to the other side and takes a breath of relief. But her relief lasts only a moment. The Sailor Man suddenly grabs her hair from behind and brutally rips the skin off her head. Margaret screams in pain as the Sailor Man lifts her up and throws her into a large machine. The machine starts crushing her, killing her in a horrifying and merciless way. Dexter thanks Olivia for helping him with the project, but she tells him it means more to her than it does to him. As they continue talking, Olivia reveals that she never finished high school. Because she kept moving between different foster homes, she always struggled to make friends. However, she has now returned to town because something related to her family recently came up. Dexter feels sorry for her and tries to get closer. He asks if she would like to go out for dinner after they finish working on the documentary. Olivia smiles, but tells him that she prefers to take things slow. Suddenly, Olivia notices a locked drawer nearby. She manages to pick the lock and opens it. Inside, they discover a stack of old files. Meanwhile, Joey and his friend arrive outside the factory. Terry tries to warn them about the Sailor Man, but the others laugh it off and refuse to believe him. Ignoring the warning, they decide to enter the factory. Back inside, Dexter reads through one of the files and discovers a report about contaminated spinach. The documents explain the neurological effects it caused and how the factory's poor and unsanitary conditions led to dangerous bacterial contamination. They also find evidence that connects the whole cover-up to Alistair, who kept the truth hidden from the public for many years. As they go through the files, Olivia suddenly looks at Dexter and says she finds him cute. The two slowly lean closer and are about to kiss, but Lisa and Seth suddenly interrupt them. Lisa teasingly mocks them, which makes the moment awkward. At that moment, Dexter notices the smell of pipe smoke in the air. Curious, they decide to go and check where it is coming from. As they walk deeper into the factory, they notice a strange rhyme about Popeye the Sailor Man written across the walls. Dexter installs another camera on the wall. While Kate is distracted watching Dexter, the Sailor Man quietly appears behind her. Kate then gets up to grab some water. Meanwhile, the Sailor Man steps into the room. Instead of attacking right away, he pauses and stares at Olivia. When Kate turns around, she is terrified to see the Sailor Man standing there. She quickly runs away, desperately looking for a place to hide. As she rushes through the factory, she suddenly runs straight into Joey. Joey becomes furious with Kate and accuses her of cheating on him. At that moment, the Sailor Man suddenly appears. Jesse tries to act like a hero and attacks him. He even stabs the Sailor Man, but it does not seem to hurt him much. The Sailor Man quickly grabs Jesse by the head and kills him mercilessly. Kate becomes terrified and screams, which draws the attention of the others. Terry then tries to shoot the Sailor Man, but the Sailor Man easily breaks his wrist. Frightened, Terry runs away. Joey also tries to challenge the Sailor Man, but he quickly loses his nerve and runs off as well. Meanwhile, Dexter suggests that they split up again so they can find Kate and help her. Terry is so scared that he runs outside the factory and locks the door behind him. He barely manages to start the car and tries to drive away. Just as he is about to escape, the Sailor Man suddenly lifts the car and stops him. At the same time, Joey returns to check on Kate. However, when he looks around, her body is gone. He then picks up Terry's gun from the floor. Terry keeps running until he accidentally steps on a nail. He screams in pain, and the sound catches the Sailor Man's attention. The Sailor Man slowly follows him while dragging a giant anchor behind him. When he finally catches Terry, he brutally kills him with a heavy anchor. Meanwhile, Lisa and Seth continue wandering through the factory and suddenly discover Jesse's dead body. Horrified, they decide to leave immediately. Joey is hiding nearby when he hears footsteps approaching. In panic, he fires the gun blindly and accidentally shoots Kate instead. Joey pretends that he wants to help her, but as soon as the Sailor Man gets closer, he runs away and leaves Kate behind. Lisa and Seth rush to the factory exit, hoping to escape, but they soon realize that the door has been locked. As they turn around, they see the Sailor Man standing there and staring directly at them. A few moments later, Dexter and Olivia arrive at the spot where Kate was shot. When they look around, they find Kate's bracelet lying on the floor. Lisa and Seth keep running until they reach a dead end. Seth tries to climb up to the rooftop, but his hand slips and he falls to the ground. After a moment, he slowly opens his eyes and Lisa rushes to help him. The two share an emotional moment and begin kissing. However, as Seth moves his leg, he accidentally knocks over a group of iron rods. The rods fall on him and kill him instantly. Terrified, Lisa runs away. As she wanders through the factory, she suddenly runs into Joey. She tells him about the deaths she has seen, and the two realize that the Sailor Man is killing everyone. Lisa suggests that they should call for help, but Joey refuses and says he can take care of himself before walking away. Meanwhile, Dexter and Olivia continue exploring the factory. They notice a light coming from upstairs and decide to check it out. At the same time, Lisa is wandering through another part of the building when she suddenly comes face to face with the Sailor Man. Frightened, she runs away. She tries to climb to the roof just like Seth did earlier, but she also slips and falls to her death. Dexter and Olivia enter a room and quickly realize that this is where the Sailor Man lives. Dexter finds an old photograph of the Sailor Man from before he became a monster. Nearby, they also see a picture of his wife and daughter. Olivia looks at it sadly before placing it back. As they continue searching the room, Olivia finds some old toys. Dexter digs deeper and discovers a labor card that belongs to the Sailor Man's wife, Olive Oil. They then read an old newspaper and learn that she once worked as a whistleblower. She had raised concerns about the spinach contamination at the factory. According to the report, she suddenly disappeared. The news claims she went missing, but Dexter suspects she was killed to keep the truth hidden. Suddenly, they smell pipe smoke in the room and quickly hide. The Sailor Man soon enters. Dexter quietly begins recording him, but he accidentally sneezes. The Sailor Man walks closer to investigate the noise, but eventually assumes it was just rats and ignores it. The Sailor Man then opens a can of spinach, eats it, and leaves the room. Once he is gone, Dexter and Olivia come out of their hiding place. As they continue walking through the factory, they soon discover the dead bodies of Seth and Lisa. Dexter becomes determined to expose the truth about the factory's contamination and the Sailor Man. He angrily calls the Sailor Man a psychopath. Surprisingly, Olivia defends him and says that everything is happening because of the contaminated spinach. After walking for a while, they finally find an exit. Dexter opens the door, but the Sailor Man suddenly appears in front of him. Dexter tries to distract him and tells Olivia to run. However, the Sailor Man quickly overpowers Dexter and breaks his arm. Just as the Sailor Man is about to kill him, Olivia suddenly orders him to stop. To Dexter's shock, the sailor man listens to her and lets him go. Olivia takes Dexter to a safe spot and notices that he is bleeding heavily. To stop the bleeding, she carefully puts his arm back into place, and Dexter passes out for a while from the pain. When he wakes up, he suggests that they should stay there until morning and wait for help to arrive. However, Olivia tells him that he needs to get to a hospital as soon as possible. Dexter then talks about the sailor man and says they need to find a way to fight him. Olivia quickly stops him. She blames the contaminated spinach for his transformation and says that he is only defending his home. Dexter finds this strange and asks about the woman and the child whose pictures they saw in the sailor man's room. But Olivia avoids answering the question. They decide to move forward and look for an exit. As they approach the door, the sailor man suddenly appears in front of them again. This time Olivia speaks to him and apologizes for not coming earlier. She calls him Daddy. As the sailor man slowly raises his hand toward her, Joey suddenly appears and shoots him. The sailor man quickly runs away and hides. Olivia tries to stop Joey and tells him that this is their chance to escape, but Joey refuses to listen. He is determined to kill the sailor man. Olivia still follows him and begs him to stop. She finally reveals that the sailor man is her father and that the contaminated spinach turned him into a monster. Joey ignores her warning. Suddenly, the sailor man attacks him and quickly overpowers him. Olivia once again steps in and stops the attack. She apologizes to her father and explains that they did not know they were damaging his home. She promises that they will fix everything. Joey takes advantage of the moment and strikes the sailor man with a metal rod. The sailor man quickly regains control and overpowers him again. In desperation, Joey grabs a can and threatens to kill Olivia after realizing she is the sailor man's daughter. Olivia tricks Joey, giving the sailor man a chance to grab him. This time the sailor man brutally tears off Joey's arm and kills him with it. While the sailor man is distracted, Dexter and Olivia manage to escape from the factory. They feel relieved to finally make it out alive. As they walk away, Kate suddenly approaches them and reveals that Joey did not hit any vital organs when he shot her. She is saddened after hearing about Joey's death, but she says she will deal with it later. Soon, a rescue team arrives and Kate is taken to the hospital. The police later confirm that they searched the entire factory but found no trace of the sailor man. When the officer questions Dexter and Olivia, they lie and say that the attacker ran toward the marina, causing the police to search in that direction instead. Later, Dexter and Olivia notice the sailor man watching them through a window. They quietly promise that they will return to help him. Sometime later, Alistair returns to the factory and becomes furious after learning that his clients have canceled their deal with him. Suddenly, the sailor man appears behind him and kills him. The movie ends there.